Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Mr. Batir. Nice to connect with the team at OIS. My name is Khalid, and today I'll be discussing a hurdle that prevents many students from achieving high band scores on their IELTS tests. That is cohesion and coherence. I'll be using an analogy infographic to better illustrate the idea. Now, I want you to think about the last time you watched a movie. You watched every single scene and understood every single line in the dialogue. Still, at the end, you were like, what did I just watch? I didn't get the message, and I definitely didn't get the plot. Well, this is how an IELTS examiner feels like when they're presented with a spoken or a written argument that has obvious cohesion but lacks the overall coherence. To fix this, we need to evolve our writing. We need to become more than just mere writers or speakers. We need to become the directors of our own language. As you can see in panel 1, coherence is the concept or the big idea. A director would never shoot a single frame without having a clear idea and a clear message in their head first. In an IELTS context, coherence is the logical progression from a concept in your introduction to a resolution in your conclusion. To achieve this, we have to take a step back and visualize the whole storyboard of our argument in our head first. If the plot makes sense, the reader or the listener will never get lost. And this is a foundational skill in achieving high scores in academic writing. Now we move on to panel 2, cohesion. These are the individual scenes in a movie or the sentences and paragraphs in our reading or writing. Some of you may know that directors often shoot individual scenes in no particular order first, then they are spliced together. Cohesion is the mechanical splicing machine that connects our words, sentences, and paragraphs in an essay. We use conjunctions and transitions like however, consequently, therefore, to connect our thoughts. But here's the danger. Look at the jumbled film down at the bottom of the panel. Connecting sentences without a plot means the message is lost. For example, if I said, I have a cat, cats are mammals. Mammals live on land. Land is expensive in Cairo. What was that? The splicing is fine, but this movie has no plot. It makes no sense. There is no logical progression. However, if I say, I have a cat, but it's difficult to find pet friendly housing in a busy city like Cairo. Ah, now the scenes serve the plot. That is effective communication. Moving on to panel 3, we see the outcome. When the plot is clear and the scenes are connected seamlessly, we achieve cohesiveness, and our audience gets the message exactly the way we intended. The communication feels effortless because the structure is integrated and the vision is unified. At this stage, it's not about just writing words and sentences and paragraphs anymore. It's about directing an argument. I hope this directorial approach to cohesion and coherence was informative. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.